Alright. I just got done surveying the whole city of Pocatello, pretty much. Most of it. And it's not looking good for grade Kates. According to the signs, like the sign count in people's yards, you know what I mean? According to that, looks like Mark Dahlquist is in the lead, according to the signs in the yards. But do not give up hope. Don't give up hope. Maybe some of the people haven't seen my videos yet to promote Great Kates. I don't know. I think they're pretty good videos to help take us over the top. Plus, the secret weapon. My vote counts for 2,000. Yep. Because they locked me up for the last voting. So my vote equals more for December's vote because I was locked up by an evil regime. I was locked up by an evil regime in the November election. So based on that, they said your vote counts for 2,000 because we're sorry. So that's what they said at the election place. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, thank you, but that's not good enough for an apology. That's not good enough, but I'll take it for now. But anyways, enough about that. So I surveyed the city, and I'm like, man, yeah, the sign count isn't looking good. No. If I were to estimate in smaller terms, like if, say there were 5,000 signs for Mark Dahlquist and 4,000 signs for Great Kates, that's the ratio, I would say, 5 to 4. If I were to reduce it, there's that many more signs for the other candidate. But anyways, so it's not looking good. It's going to be a big underdog story. Again, always against the mighty empire. That hits hard, by the way. The empire hits hard. Yeah, no one knows it better than me. The Empire Strike Back on yours truly. Locked up for 11 weeks straight. They wanted it to be longer. They strike back hard, okay? But they have to live with their decision to do that to me. And, you know what I'm saying? They have God to deal with. They have God to deal with for their evil, they scheming against me. They have God to deal with too. You know what I'm saying? Not only do they have to deal with me, they have to deal with God, who's even worse than me. God watched it all. God may have let me be punished, but he saw what they did too. You know what I mean? He's a fair God according to the Bible. They may get hellfire, which is worse than maximum security jail. Trust me. Trust me. It's kind of like, it's similar, except for there's fire there. You know what I'm saying? You know? It's amazing how similar maximum security jail and the description of hell in the Bible is. How closely they are. Without the fire part. Without the fire. They're the same. They're exactly the same punishment. You know, the chambers, the cell, you know what I mean? You know, it's like a prison, you know? So, like, man, did they model it after the Bible? You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking. But anyways, not about that. It's about how do we make Great Kates win? I don't know. I swore I would not do any intimidation, even though I intimidate naturally without anything. But I can push the bar, as we know, but I'm not going to do that because God won't back me up if I do so. You know, I felt the consequences when I pushed the bar too far. There's consequences. So we're going to do it peaceful. Even though Greg Gates, he may lose. I don't, yeah, by a close margin, by the looks of the signs out there. I don't know. I'm not very good at convincing the people to choose a certain person. Like I said, when I was handing out literature for Jesus, Jesus really did do what he said. He really did what he did in the Bible, and I can barely convince people of that door to door. That he died for them. He did. I can barely convince people to follow Jesus, even vote for him. And he actually did walk the walk. Imagine how hard it is for me to convince someone to vote for a man of our day. You know what I mean? It's just impossible. Like, I can't convince people to choose Jesus. You know what I mean? That died for them specifically. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tall task. It's a tall task. I'm doing my best. But anyways, please vote for Greg Gates. If you have a sign that says Mark Dahlquist, maybe reconsider. Maybe reconsider. You know what I mean? Do you want the same old that you got for the last 4 years in a way? I heard he's part of that club. You know what I mean? Do you want the same old? Maybe you do. But if you don't, and you don't want, your kid shot by cops in the backyard, I'm not using that intimidation, but it's true though. If you don't want your kid shot by cops in the backyard for holding a garden tool or something, vote for Greg Gates. He's trying to fix that problem. He's trying, you know what I'm saying, nip that in the butt. The training is way off. If the training is to execute someone in 13 seconds, that's not good training, okay? That's not good police training. You know what I'm saying? Coming from someone that tricked the FBI twice, that's not good training. Sorry to rub it in. They retaliate. They might come after me again. But it's true though. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's horrible training. Run up, take your gun out. The kid's sitting in the grass. 13 seconds later, he's toast. That's horrible training. Horrible. It's like they got trained in like a mafia backyard brawl arena. You know what I mean? From a gang of the Crips. You know what I mean? Just horrible training in a nutshell. But anyways, enough about that. Vote for Greg Gates, and so we can avoid this pain of our city wickedness. Never ending. Think of me being bullied and locked up. Think of me too. Think of me. I ain't in heaven with Victor. You know what I'm saying? Think of me. I'm still down here with all these. You know what I mean? Think of me. Been locked up 3 times since they shot Victor. You know what I'm saying? It could have been more. And they still trying to again. It's no joke. So help a brother out. Help a brother out. Help yours truly out, even though we never met. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll meet someday. On this side or the other. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're in heaven, hopefully, But if you're in hell, maybe we won't meet. I don't know. But anyway, enough about that. So yeah, the vote count isn't looking good according to the signs in the yard. That's what this video is about. I would say about a 5, maybe even a 5-3 margin. 5 to 3.5 margin. We're losing. We're behind. We have a few days to catch up, in my opinion, so we're pulling out all stops, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of stuff without intimidating the people, you know what I mean? Lord knows I can, so, but I won't. That's all I'll say for this video. Vote for Great Gage. Thank you.